What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about that PlayStation something, whether it's a state of play, whether it's a showcase. We just got, really, when I'm recording this, a little while ago, Nate the Hate has talked just a little bit about it. I think, honestly, maybe being pushed to a point of being annoyed, where his answers are just they are direct, but they're also just very short and almost indirect. So I imagine the man is asked quite often about PlayStation related things, and he was asked a little while ago, when will the PlayStation showcase be? Is there a possible date? And he said that Sony has a presentation soon. And then to that, he was asked, okay, well, when you say soon, do you mean like next week, next month, later in the year? And he said next, and then it's like, okay, next week or next month? Next week. So he led people on just a little bit of a chase there. Maybe, again, either having fun with it or just being flat out annoyed. I would imagine it's maybe some sort of mixture of both of them. I can understand that, but no. So there you go. So next week, which is kind of ideal, kind of something that we've predicted, and I even predicted from his first tweet I wrote on Twitter. Like, I'm going to imagine that, my prediction right now is that they'll announce it this week and it'll be next week. Now, here's the caveat, right? So Tokyo Game Show, I think, is next Thursday. It's got to be before then. I think we even know that because of, like, the Sega Atlas games. Like, you imagine one of those is probably at a PlayStation event. So I think the PlayStation, whatever it is next Tuesday or next Wednesday. Now, if it's next Wednesday, they could announce it next Monday, okay? Which means we could go through this entire week and get nothing, okay? I also believe that they've never really done it, or they don't do it often. They don't do announcements on Fridays. So I think what we're looking at is just be on the lookout tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. One of those 3 days. If it's on a Tuesday, like next Tuesday, and I do think showcases they used to give like a week for. I know it's been freaking forever since we got a showcase. Showcases, I believe they used to give 7 days notice for. State of plays, they could give a day notice for, right? So that's what I'm trying to think, or I'm trying to think out loud. If it's a showcase, maybe they announce it tomorrow, maybe they announce it Wednesday, and it's next Tuesday or next Wednesday. If it's a state of play, even if it's a big state of play, it's probably very likely that they do it just next Monday. They announce it next Monday, and then it still is next Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm gonna hold firm to that because I predicted that like yesterday. I predicted that like an hour before Nate the Hate, literally directly said next week. So we know the event is next week. It's just when. I don't think it would be on a Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday is Tokyo Game Show. I don't think it would be that Thursday. So I really think you're looking at either next Tuesday or Wednesday, which works like we've talked about 1,000 times. It's right before Ghost of Yote. I know people had said, I think the last couple state of plays, they've shown Digimon at both of the last two. Digimon comes out a day after Ghost of Yote, so those two games would be lock. God of War. Obviously, Wolverine could be the opening game, could be the closing game. Obviously, there's a little bit of range there. So, get excited because, obviously we'll have to talk about our expectations and all that jazz, but we've already talked a little bit about the predictions when it comes to first-party games. They got stuff. I think they got stuff where you could have an okay amount of first-party stuff. Obviously, it's going to be very third-party heavy, but I think if they wanted to, they could do a good amount of first-party stuff. So I'll keep my eye on it, and whenever they announce it, we'll go through the blog post, and we'll start getting ready for the actual event. Let me know what you think. Make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.